Well, I'm sure many people have heard of the line project that is happening in Neom. But that's not the only project happening in the region that I would describe as a playground for the ultra rich. There are 10 different regions that will make up Nami in Saudi Arabia. You can see it there on the map, and we're going to go through the mega project that's involved in these 10 different regions, including different hotels, self sufficient cities, and also an upside down skyscraper. All of these projects obviously costing many billion dollars. Beginning with the first one, it is the line. So this is the most famous project that is happening. The city is planned to have a population of around 9 million people, and it's expected to be 170 kilometers across the north end of the country. They have started the early foundation construction, the digging. That's really the only thing I've seen. I tried to get updated construction photos, but there really hasn't seemed to be any update since at least Thanksgiving. So maybe I'll do a 2024 The Line update when it happens. There's been a lot of speculation that this is not legitimate, that travel in this line would be ridiculously hard considering with how cities work. They're circular. It's easier to get from place to place. With the line, it's just one straightaway shot. And when you look at the renderings of a lot of these mega projects, they look like something out of a new Halo game. They don't seem very realistic, but then again, with the amount of money that is flowing into these projects, maybe they can make this happen. But either way, the line, I'm sure everyone knows about it. It is the most ridiculous project on this list by far. And the initial stage of it is expected to be completed as early as 2030, when people could possibly move into the line. Right now, again, it is very early in the construction phase, just digging out the initial foundation. The next mega project going up is the Oxyon, which is an entire city that's to be built on the coast of the Red Sea. Now, there will be cruise ships that come in and out of this port, and you can see it kind of has a Venice type feel to it, basically built on top of water, at least most of it. It seems like the entire city is submerged, at least within water. It is a ridiculous design. So that's an entire city that they're trying to build right on the water, kind of as a port city. That's what I would say in terms of that project. The next project, believe it or not, it is a ski resort, Trojena. Now, the ski resort will also contain a 330 meter tall skyscraper named the Discovery Tower. And you can see the way the skiing runs seem to be man-made. Looks like they're man-made ski runs, the difference between the summer months and the winter months there in Saudi Arabia. And they will potentially host the Asian Winter Games, I want to say, this area. Certainly, I haven't really seen anything like this anywhere else. I would consider this a very luxury ski resort, but there are several different renderings there, and just judging from these renderings, looking at some of the ski slopes, it seems like a very small resort in terms of total hills. And certainly, it's hard to tell how steep they are, but one of the things that I have seen is singular artificial hills. We've seen that inside of different buildings. I believe Dubai was trying to do that or something. Some mall was doing it, but I really haven't seen a conjoined amount of ski slopes, artificial ski slopes. So certainly kind of an interesting design, more of a luxury type thing rather than, if you want good skiing, certainly you go out to real mountains like in Colorado. I guess these are real mountains, but it seems like it's artificially made there at the top and then it conjoins into an actual mountain. But there is that. Moving on to the fourth mega project, it is Synal. It is planned to be a luxury island resort. Now, this project is supposed to be the first one that's going to be completed, and it is located near the line in the Red Sea. Now, the resort is expected to contain 3 large hotels along with a luxury island and yacht club. And you can see some different photos of that luxury island right there. So that is possibly the first one that's going to be completed in terms of these 10 different mega projects. The next one, it is the Lija Hotel. This is one of several different luxury hotels that are going to be going up around this area. The renderings on this are a bit ridiculous. I really can't even tell where the hotel is. I'm guessing it's located inside of that structure. It looks like they've got these massive stones built up. It's almost like they're trying to mimic like Greek mythology with this. Like you go onto some crazy planet and you see these different, buildings that are made out of rock. I don't know. It's just a crazy design. But that is one of the luxury hotels that is going. Oh yeah, I guess you can see there are little balconies in there. It does kind of look like a hotel, and you can see the top of it right there. Next, it is the Epticon. Now, this is their luxury, interconnected, jagged skyscrapers. The two skyscrapers will be around 250 meters high and will contain hotels along with luxury residences. There will also be a beach resort right next to these skyscrapers, along with a hotel under that and 45 beach villas. Now, these skyscrapers are just ridiculous. It's almost like, just in the middle of absolute nowhere, and the way they're built with kind of that linear floor going across the middle of them to interconnect them, the skyscrapers themselves look very small and narrow. And it's almost like it's invisible, like they're trying to make it invisible, almost like an oasis in the desert. It is pretty remarkable. I don't know, is that... Oh, I thought those were massive solar panels. I think that's a road. And then just a bunch of desert, and then you can see the two skyscrapers coming up. Next one is titled the Serena, and it's categorized as a hexagonal pillar-shaped hotel. This is probably my favorite in terms of the renderings of the hotels, probably of the entire 10 mega projects they have on here. It is just looking at it at night lit up with all those different buildings poking out. The design is focused on blending the hotel into the adjoining mountain. It's a 65-room hotel with 35 private residencies that will only be accessible from the sea, so there is that. The next mega project, titled Utemo, is considered the theater of the future. I'm not even sure I understand what this is. Where is the screen to this? It's just a strange entrance. You have to walk up a bunch of rocks. It certainly is interesting. This is like the idea of going back or like humans discovering Earth for the first time and seeing all of these different things that were built with rocks. That's what the vibe I get from this. It's really cool. Just looking at some of these renderings, this one might be the one I would visit. It just looks like a frickin' temple from 300 BC, but either way, there is that. The next one, it is the Norlana, and it's considered a coastal yachting town. The town will reportedly have a focus on sports and contain an 18-hole golf course. And then the final one, this one is the upside-down skyscraper, titled Aquaum, which will contain hotels, shops, and apartments wrapped around an underwater open square. It is an ultra-luxury upside-down skyscraper, the facade facing inwards instead of facing outwards. And you can see this is kind of has a Mediterranean vibe, a lot of green to it. This one completely different than all the other designs. And the swamp-like, pond-like green interior you can see with the natural light shining in over top. So just some crazy renderings. These are the 10 biggest mega projects happening in this region, with obviously the line being the lead. But these are ridiculous, and it'll be interesting to see if these actually all get built. Maybe I'll do a construction update on them all, because I know some of them are under construction. Either way, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on X. Link to that's always in the description.